Everybody, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Bojan Petreski. Today is November 22nd, 2022. It is a fun date, 11/22/22. Hope everybody's having a good day. We'll be getting started with our session in just a few seconds. A little bit of a delay on my side here. I had to update some things with my platform, but we should be good to go for today. The something that we're doing a little bit different this time around, and if you're with me, please do follow along live. And we're experimenting with a new program called Speak Up. This is an app that you can install. You can join in a chat room, and it's completely anonymous, very straightforward. It's just a very simple app that you enter the chat room key, you enter into the chat room, and if you have any questions or if you need some answers, you could be in there as anonymous, and you will be able to just type whatever the question is that you have. And then if other people also looking at it and maybe have the same question, they can actually upvote that question so that we can all get some clarity and get a little bit more uh, knowledge out of a trading and review session. I do apologize. I'm going to be sipping tea pretty much throughout the whole session. If you can't tell, I am losing my voice a little bit. We're all a little bit under the weather, and interestingly enough, that seems to be the case around the world, which is kind of funny. But so before we get going here, sorry, let's go ahead and get this stuff loaded in here. As I said, I was just resetting the platform, and now we should be good to go. Of course, we are utilizing our NinjaTrader platform. That gives us a little bit more information and actually makes it a little bit more visual, which is amazing for a person like me, to get the information that you need out of the charts. I'm gonna hold off for just a second before diving in. Just want to make sure everybody was able to get into the chat room. If you were not, what I'll do is I'll show you here it is, your chat room key. I'll just keep this here for a little bit longer until everybody's kind of settled in, and we'll be getting started while I fix up some stuff with my platform here as well. I just want to make sure that everything's still how it was supposed to be, and it looks like it's not. I definitely want to have the visibility of my chart trading here, which makes it that much easier and more visual. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a very visual person. I like seeing the price movement. I like seeing where my entries and exits are. I think that's pretty important. I'm actually going to put it on here as well because we need to be able to see where exactly our final targets will be. I didn't used to have it on here, but now we will. All right, so without much more further ado. Okay, perfect. Looks like, yeah, the chat box is working. Let me just actually increase the brightness on here. I have to go over just to see what's the typing. There we go. Perfect. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get started. So this is our platform here. We have our NinjaTrader loaded up. We have crude oil currently loaded up on our chart, even though this is not how it's supposed to be. It's right there. We have crude oil loaded up on our chart. Top three screens are our trade screens. This is what we utilize for our entries. Bottom left and top left screens. And I'm just going to make them, not mean to do that. The red screens here and the red screen down here. That's our auto climate. They are in gray just to kind of keep our eyes separate, kind of keep our eyes at a location where we know that this is not a tradable chart. This is the chart that we utilize for our climate and for our final targets. It's very important to have, especially the chart on the left, mainly because it gives you clarity of where unfilled orders were or where they are, even if they've been filled. All right, so let's go ahead and get to analyzing and get the trading here. Let me just see here. I'm missing. Yeah, perfect. This is what I was pulling up, of course, on our other screen, or if you want it, you can try to put it down here as well if you're not going to use the reactive timeframes. Yep, that's right. There we go. If you don't want to use the reactive timeframes, you can certainly put the market analyzer down here. That's entirely up to you. I'm going to keep it the way it is right now, since most of us are probably trading on multiple screens. If you are trading on one screen, then that might not be a bad idea. Of course, the market analyzer is just there to kind of give you an idea of when you should be looking at opening charts. As of right now, we don't have anything on the crude oil climate because, number one, as we see down here, I'm just going to show you right here. Oops, not what I meant to do. Sorry. Right here, we do see that we are currently on a, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14th 15-minute climate out of typically that we see here 6 up. Okay. Not sure why it says 0. We'll have to look into that. But we're very late to this climate, so we're going to go ahead and switch on it. And let's take a look at our market analyzer. Everything's either hopeful or early except for the euro. So let's load up the euro. And see what's going on. There we go. We are actually right on it. So the second one or first confirmed out of typically 6. Price has moved quite a little bit away from it. However, as we see right now, if price were to head higher, we see that the moving average is represented by this gold line that you see right here on all these charts. That's what I was saying earlier. I love the power of the platform that can chart multiple different time frame instruments on a different chart time frame, or in this scenario on a different tick or volume chart. Of course, our goal in our scenario here is to do the following. We are looking for confluence of evidence for orders to be filled. How do we do that exactly, right? That sounds very fancy, but it means, essentially nothing when it comes to how you execute a trade. We do that by the following. The first thing we ask ourselves is, should we be trading, yes or no? And if the answer is yes, because we have a confirmed climate, then we start looking for where do we enter. The where part is a combination of the moving average that we have here, plus the climate, plus an auto UFO. So that's what I mean when I say a confluence of evidence. In this scenario, 1.02859 is where the current moving average is, also plotted on these charts here. At that area, we do not have any UFOs, as you see. We have one down below, and we have one up above. So, and actually the one down below has disappeared as of right now. So the anticipation would be, do we think, and I'm just going to maybe type this in the chat box too if you're with me, do we think that this moving average will meet up with this UFO up above here if we wait on this chart and we think, okay, if price moves up, right, will the moving average move up and meet up in this UFO here? Do we think that that's a possibility? Let me know in the chat box if you think. I'm going to wait for a few seconds while I take a sip. Okay, so I'm gonna go with I don't think so. I don't think that our if current price were to shoot up from where it is right now, from 102.805, and our moving average being at 108.61, I don't think that these two will meet up at that UFO up above. Okay, so that's just me kind of sharing with you. I think if price does shoot up, they may meet up like somewhere right on it or a little bit above it. We don't have a UFO here, so nothing else to do. Now, what we could see actually, if price does touch the moving average, pulls down, and then if this area creates a new UFO. Something like this is very possible, where we would expect a retest and a further step down. Okay, it's definitely a possibility, so we'll keep an eye on it. But as of right now, we do not have a trade on this one. We're going to have an update to the climate, to all the climate, in about 2 minutes from now. And of course, we're going to have to wait for just a little bit. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. Today is Thanksgiving week in the US. A little bit more relaxed week, at least over here. um, let's see. We got a few more seconds to get the climates updated. About 30 seconds or so. In the meantime, of course, if there's any questions, any comments, please feel free to type them in the chat. And we got 10 seconds now, and we'll see an update to this climate, to all the climates, and see if there's anything that may change. Crude oil might be looking like it might change. Yep, it did. To an unconfirmed. Okay, well, hey, it changed. It's just not confirmed. We may see a drop here, and if it does drop, it may confirm the climate. We'll keep an eye on it, but as of right now, um, everything else out there that I'm looking at is into hopeful territory. So nothing quite to get excited over, unfortunately. Moving average for the euro hasn't changed much. No new UFOs in that area. Therefore, nothing else to do. So, let's say we have a hypothetical upcoming confirmation of this climate on crude oil. Do we have anything that we can plan for right where current price is? Unfortunately, right now, that is not the case. So, not much else to talk about unless we see a potentially large drop right at current price right now. And ultimately get a confirmation of the climate and get a confirmation, get a new UFO generated. Let's take a look at some of the majors just to see what's going on with it, just to see if there's any potential trades should things change in their climates. All right. There's the ES, currently in an up climate and just keeps on going. I mean, this would have been a wonderful trade at 4:15 in the morning. That's 4 o'clock in the morning, I guess. This is the confirmation here, 4:15, and this trade you would have just been riding along very nicely. Of course, we were asleep at that time, right? So let's take a look and see what would happen. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing a whole bunch that I can even hypothetically discuss, mainly because current price is in two filled UFOs right now, a green one and a red one. Okay, so that means it's two filled UFOs right there on the climate window. Freak that right there. So there's definitely been a battle fought right here at this price point. Um, not a whole bunch happening. Of course, it's before the open and also it's Thanksgiving week. It's not going to be the most active of weeks. Let's switch back to the euro to see if there's anything going on there. Okay, so all the green UFOs were also filled. So we don't have any red UFOs that we can rely on for a potential entry around the moving average. Well, something that we can do is we can try to take a look at this on the 60 minute and see if there's anything there. But again, sometimes, guys, that's trading. Um, you have to be able to just relax and watch the charts, or if you want, you can definitely watch, the news or something just to keep you distracted. Because if you're trying to force a trade, right, ultimately you're probably going to make a mistake. So you definitely don't want to force a trade by any means, because that's just not how you should be trading. You should be, waiting patiently for a trade to set itself up, and then once it does, to get in. And then as far as news for the week, this week we had quite a bit of crypto news coming out. Of course, the collapse of FTX is shaking the crypto world. It's definitely something that is stirring things up. We'll see if it's going to be for the better or for the worse. Um, but as of right now, it appears to be leaning to the worse. um, it's definitely something that I would say some people, overly eagerly invested into, and then didn't quite, do their due diligence. But at the same time, that's just how it is with crypto. It's still kind of like the Wild West. Um, a lot of regulation is coming up, and at least talks about it is coming up, and some of it has already been in place, but more regulation is coming up to regulate this industry because obviously people are getting hurt left and right. Okay, not much to go over, at least before the open. We should get quite a bit of volatility kicking in right at the open, so hopefully that will create some opportunities for us. Let's see if we were to load up a 60-minute chart on the equities to see if we could potentially get into a trade on there, just to kind of keep the ball rolling. So let's go ahead and load up the ES. And this will be the 60-minute. Okay, this would be the 8-minute. meant to do. Let's go ahead and add a value here. Get the 8-minute here. Now for the tick charts, we have actually, let me just do something a little different here because I don't want to get these confused. So I'm going to rename this to the ES60. I don't want to lose the 15-minute because this one is fairly easy to change. These are always going to be a little more difficult. So we're going to do a tick. I'm going to add a value. And for the tick chart, based on our equivalencies, we have 2584 ticks. And then for our volume, we'll configure that. We're going to add 67, 65. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to duplicate it. Rename this to the ES60. And we're going to put on the, did we not save that? Yep, we did not. We said 2584. So 2584 volume. Wait a minute now. I'm sorry, no, it's actually 6765. That's on the, wait a minute, I'm doing something wrong here. 6765 is what we need. We have volume 6765. Okay. So for the volume, we have this. And then for the ticks, we have this on the 60-minute. 60-minute is actually still a confirmed up climate. It is 2 out of typically 5 that it's been confirmed for, even if it says it's 5 out of 5. It's because it's counting the past 3, which I don't. So it's been up for 2. 60-minute time frames, 3967. 3967 is actually this UFO here, 67. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a trade. Let's go ahead and put this on. So 6950, which is also shown by the UFO now. Now the numbers do represent the top and the bottom. Right there, well that looked really silly. So this is the top obviously, and this is the bottom. So now it's easier to understand which way we're going. So let's go ahead and set this as a buy limit. And I'm going to do a custom ATM strategy. So 6950 is our entry. Alright, and I'm just going to do a custom one because I want to actually get the exact price in as the market opens. Like, because if it does end up coming down, our stop loss is going to be 39.6475, right? That's the bottom. So we're just going to do one tick below, so 50. Our profit is going to be 69.50 minus 64.50, which is a 5-point risk. So we will go to 39. Actually, let me just double check something here, because even the top UFO is technically a qualified trade. It is within the UFO itself. Now that I think of it, moving average is within this UFO, and the market is opening in 3 minutes, so we'll definitely see it. I'm not sure why it was 67. 70. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, never mind. Yeah, please disregard this one. I'll have to, uh, the indicator itself that's on here, the 9 EMA is actually the 15 minute, as you see there. So I can edit this input and make it the, I can make it the 60 minutes. So um, I'm going to actually disregard that. That's why I'm like, wait a minute, something's not adding up here. Because we're kind of experimenting with this one a little bit on the fly here, but so yeah, our entry down here 69.50 is correct because it matches up with this chart down here. Um, okay, so as of right now, we're gonna sit tight here with the 60 minute. We're going to let me just edit my strategy here that we were in the process of. Okay, and we're gonna do a price 39.64.5. And going 5 up will be 39.74.5 will be the profit, rather, sorry. 39.74.5, and that should be 39.64.5. And our final target is actually going to be all the way up here at 39, let's call it 94 for now. 39.94. Okay, so that's our setup for this trade. And now we have a custom ATM strategy set up just for this, so that we know that this is not going to just fail, and maybe with the craziness of the open, it's not going to get us on the right track. So that's why we're doing this. So that's our setup for now. So 69.50 is what we're waiting for to get a fill on. And the market is open as of right now, so we are seeing a little bit of movement happening there, which is always good. Yep. And then don't let this moving average confuse you. That's just because it's plotting the one from the 15-minute time frame. As far as anything new on the time frames, we're not seeing a whole bunch of anything really happening right now. Let me take a look at crude and see what it's doing. Um, 1 second here. Let's take a look at crude oil and see what crude is up to. Let's go ahead and change this to the 15-minute and this to the 2-minute right here. Crude is not doing a whole bunch of anything, I guess. It is still an unconfirmed down climate, so not much else to do there other than just kind of look at it and hope for the best. Um, Interestingly enough. Yeah. Slow day, folks. Slow day today. I can't. But those days are also sometimes they happen. That's just the way it is. Okay, crude's moving lower now. That's good. Let's see if we might catch a new UFO to form in this location here. Not sure why this one is not loading. We should be able to see a confirmed climate fairly soon. I'm just not sure why this one is still loading. Should have loaded by now. Come on, crude oil is definitely, if it doesn't confirm right now, it'll definitely confirm on by the time it retracts. But now let's take a look at the ES. Looks like it might be coming close to our setup that we had on the 8-minute and the 60 here. Okay, 72. Okay, let's change this to the 60. There it is. So our moving average is at 66.88. See if I can just quickly figure out how to modify this on the chart here. Well, this will actually remove it all together for this one. So let's just keep it on. We know that the moving average is down here at 66.88. I'm sure there's actually an easy way to just adjust the input for this one here. See, the input series is the 15-minute. If I change that, I think I just have to add an indicator to the 60-minute series. Guess not. I mean, there's obviously a way. I can't figure out how to change it myself. They're the same as input series. That's just a display. The data series is what I'm trying to edit, but might need to spend some more time trying to figure out how to do it. Right now, price came fairly close to our entry, didn't quite fill it. And of course, not much else there. So it's telling you edit the input, but it's not letting you edit the input. Price might be close to it again. Coming fairly close to our entry. No fill as of yet. And nothing else on the other charts either. I mean, I'm looking at them with this. There's really not much going on, so let's sip of coffee and just kind of wait for things. That's all we can do. Okay, might finally get that fill now. Okay, fairly close. Once this, if this hits, we're gonna go ahead and take a screenshot of it. Moving average is at 66.03, which is great. 67 actually. Okay, looks like we got filled. Or not. What's happening here? Our stop is at 64.50. Yeah, we definitely got filled. Um, I just don't know why this didn't pop. I got filled on the other DOM here. I'm not sure why this one didn't fill. I guess a little too much data. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a little strange, but you should have gotten filled. And that's the importance of putting the entries and stops at the right place, because you definitely don't want to miss out on this stuff just because something is, going crazy. Um, right now, price is just kind of dancing around our entry point, but we have a 5 point stop, so our stop should be at 64.5. Let me just take a screenshot of this just so we have it, because I didn't yet. So 2022, 11/22, ES 60-minute setup entry. It's a little strange, guys. I'm not sure what exactly is going on, but you see that our limit is right there, and I definitely got filled on my other chart here, so I'm not sure what's going on. And that's that. It actually got stopped out, even though there's a bit of a delay here again. Not sure what exactly is going on here, but there was the entry. Everything was set accordingly. So I'm gonna, if you took this live, at least based on what's happening here in my chart down below, it did end up getting stopped out. So I'm gonna record it as stopped out. Yeah. I will have to try to figure out and see what's going on here, but ultimately the trade was taken, it triggered, and ended up stopping out. at least based on the DOM, the depth of market that we had here. Interestingly enough, it never happened on the charts, so we'll have to figure out what's going on around it, guys. But that's that for now. Let's kind of refocus and shift gears and see if we have anything else. Okay, we do have a confirmed climate on crude oil now, and not only that, but the last candle actually confirmed. I don't believe it came back to it. If it did, then we missed out on a trade potentially. But let's take a look here. Nothing there for now. Okay, there's no UFOs or prices. So I guess not much else to do here other than that. Any other setups that we may have? Okay, the NQ is saying an early 1 out of 5. It's already down 2 ATRs though, so not much is going to be done there. Wow, that's a big drop. It's a huge drop. The trade does line up with the moving average here. So we do have a trade at 11,588 even. And we'll have to do a custom one again where we have two targets here. Stop loss will have to be 11,628.25, or rather 11,628.50. Sorry about that, guys. So 11,628. That is a massive 628.50. That's a little bizarre. It's not letting me put in the actual number I want my stop to be at. 50. Okay. I guess we'll have to round it up, guys. So we have 11,629 minus 11,588. That's 41. So minus 15. So 80. That's 47. That's our profit. And our stop is the same place. Final target, the chart's not loaded, so we'll just put it at 11,000. Let's just say 450. So 629, 547. That's what it was. I'm like, that's a little crazy that it's not letting me. It's because I had still ticks selected up there. Okay, so we've set our custom trade strategy there. So we're shorting at 11,588. And our stop loss, as we said, is 11,628.50. Our stop loss, our T1 actually needs to be. So we're going 11,628.50 minus 11,588. That's 40.5. So that should be 11,547.5. And as I said, T2, okay, it finally did load. We'll see where that first portion of resistance might be on the chart here. And of course, if this one doesn't work out, right, we have multiple UFOs here that we can rely on. So that's always a possibility. If it is one of these lower ones, our stop would need to be at 83.50, which is good. I mean, it's going to shorten it. It's going to make the trade a lot less riskier than what it is right now at 588. So that's the portion that. Okay. Right now, we just sit and patiently wait while we sip a tea. Although the session is nearly over, we've had one trade that, although my charts were kind of lagging behind for some reason, it did trigger and it did stop out. Quite a bit of movement on the NASDAQ. Quite a bit of movement on the rest of them here too. It's just they're either well, actually the ES is getting a little closer to the moving average, and there is a trade there on the ES. It should not be the 8-minute though, that should be the 15. 39.70, 39.71. Yeah, actually this is a trade here. Let's just set this as 2C1. It looks like it came a tick away, 2 ticks away from filling on this UFO here. Okay. Let's see. Looks like this one might actually fill. Let's just grab a screenshot of it. So this is the 2022, 11/22 ES. This is the 50-minute setup that we got in front of us. Whew. And there it goes. We might have missed this a little bit earlier because it did touch into this UFO, went to T1 already, and now it's kind of retracing back. So we might have missed like the first entry short here, but it's still a valid short to go into. So that's what we have it on. Let's see if we're going to get a fill. Otherwise, the session is almost at the top of the hour, so that means the session will be ending today. And again, this is a much slower session than what we're usually used to. That's just the way it is. Sometimes we have so many trades, we don't know which way to go. But sometimes we have only a few trades and plenty of time to talk, which makes it the best time to ask questions. If you have any concerns or anything you want to share, this is definitely also the time to do it. And if not, of course, you can always email me at bojan@tradewithufos.com. I'll share my contact link right here. So if you have any questions, you can always go to tradewithufos.com/Bojan, type the question there, or of course you can always email me, as I said, bojan@tradewithufos.com. All right, ES might look like it wants to fill here. We'll see. It's pushing up. A couple of ticks away again. And I'm looking at it also on my other account here. It's definitely a tick away. Tick to 25. Did not touch 50 yet. So, okay, it's on 50 now. It's filled. I'm not sure what just happened there. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what just happened there. But he should be filled. I'm not sure why it just canceled. Okay, there it is. That was a little strange. Right? All right, the trade's in. It's a good thing I took a screenshot. Let's take a look at where our stop was supposed to be at. 73.50 is our stop. So 73.50 is our stop. And our T1 is supposed to be at 73.50 minus 70.50. 3 points minus 70.50, that's 67.5. Should be our T1. All right, and our final target, we actually don't have anything down below, so we'll just keep it kind of floating down just to have an idea. But let's go ahead and take a screenshot of this just so we have it reformed. So this is the actual entry, 2022, 11/22, ES 15-minute entry. So we do have our entry here on this trade. Let's see if we can get a T1 before the session ends. That would be fairly good. Okay, looks like it. Did it tick to T1 or no? I don't think so. Well, if it didn't now, it will now, right? If it didn't then, it will now. Excuse me. Wow. This cough is just unshakable for some reason. Climate is still in our favor. Market is looking a little heavy right now. Let's see if we'll get our our T1. We do have a green UFO on the 2584 volume. That will probably disappear with the closing of this candle. Obviously, a bit of a fight here. Uh, and of course, let's go ahead and draw out our vertical line. This was the fill that we had here. Just going to make this a little bit bigger. If for some reason we don't get, let's say 1, 2, 3 candles around here, if we don't get our T1 or our stop, wait, did we actually get the T1? We did get our T1. I'm sorry. We already hit T1. Time stop rule does not even apply here. We actually have a new form, so we're going to move this down to 72. Okay. We did hit T1. It's a little strange because I'm looking at the chart here. It says realized profit is already there. It says 162.50, which is great. So we already realized some of the profit. Now we just have to manage the trade. We already moved our stop down to 72, and that's that. We just kind of have to write it down and wait. We didn't have any opposing UFOs on the. Okay, looks like it did stop out. So it was a small profit trade, although I'm not sure what's going on with the platform here. So 2022, 1122, ES 15-minute exit. So we got T1 and move the stock down. As you see, it's still acting as if it didn't hit the stop, which it's a little crazy, but we're going to look into see why this is happening and what's the reason behind it and so on. All right, folks. Well, that's that. Top of the hour here. Let's go ahead and get the session closed out. If you have any questions, please feel free to send them out. Thank you so much. Take care.